Hello, friends. Welcome to Tips with a Twist. I'm Lisa, here with my best bud, Brax. On this channel, we have fun with nails, explore a variety of art forms, and provide creative tips and tricks along the way. Today, we're showing you how to create your own gel nail decals inspired by these Celtic Clover and Trinity Knot necklaces. I received this clover knot necklace as a gift, and it felt like the perfect inspiration for my St. Patrick's Day nails. Here's the thing though, Celtic knots consist of precise patterns and interwoven infinite lines. So it's hard for me to paint them freehand without the result looking a little wonky. And as a perfectionist, I just can't have that. So, to make my life easier, I sketched a small outline of the clover knot on white tissue paper, which I trace when painting the decal. It helps with consistency and accuracy. This leads me to tip number one, which is to use an object, drawing, or photo as a guide, or even to trace. I used Scotch mounting tabs for this because I was out of clear double sided tape and it was just what I had on hand. Although the tabs work great, it's more cost effective to use the tape, so I recommend just going with the tape. I used Young Nails white gel striping paint. Young Nails has great gel paints, they are very pigmented. And although this is a striping brush, I put some of the paint on my palette because I wanted to use a thinner art brush for this more intricate design. I also used Young Nails Mission Control Gel Paint, color Aura, which is gold. Make sure you mix it well to ensure the pigment is evenly distributed, as it sometimes settles when sitting for a while. Instead of using a flat surface like a silicone mat, tip number two is to use a dual nail form as the canvas for the decal. It ensures the decal has a nice curve so it lays flush against the nail when applied. Choose the form size that fits the nail on which you're applying the decal because this will ensure a perfect fit. And so I used tweezers to put my sketch of the clover knot face down on the Scotch mounting tab. And I emphasize face down because I messed up the first time I edited it out, but I put it face up for some reason, and then it was a struggle peeling the tissue paper off and placing it back on the tab. So just pay attention to what you're doing. Once I have it face down on the tab, I then remove the cover on the other side to expose the sticky surface, which I use to adhere to the underside of the nail form. This allows me to see the image through the form while painting. Then I use the sticky tack that comes with the nail stands to adhere the form to the stand. And then we get into it. I start painting with the Young Nails white gel paint while tracing the sketch of my clover knot. I use a thin art brush to achieve the level of detail that I'm looking for. Since intricate designs can take a long time and be very precise, I recommend tip number three, which is breaking the design into steps, curing after each to preserve it. That way, if you mess up, you can easily wipe it away without ruining what you've already done. And this is the main reason why I chose gel paint over regular nail polish. You can, of course, use regular nail polish and just let it dry thoroughly, but I like working with gel. That's typically the type of product that I'm using, and it allows me to, yes, cure immediately right after I get the design the way that I want, um, and then move on to the next step. So I start painting the square in the center, and then I go ahead and cure it. And then after that, I work on the heart shapes, curing after each of those heart shapes. I put the white paint down first to act as an outline for the gold. So I painted the white lines a bit wider, knowing that the gold would go on top. in, slightly thinner lines. And I did it this way because I tested hand painting the outline after I did the gold, and it looked kind of messy and inconsistent to me, maybe because I don't have the steadiest hand. So I just went ahead and did it this way instead. Now, if you want an easier and quicker way to make decals, I recommend using a printer and the proper paper for vinyl stickers or water decals. I'll do a video on that in the future, but I wanted to start with making decals with gel paint. It may be more work and take longer, but to me, they don't look like decals or stickers. They look like I painted the design directly on the nail, which is my preferred look. So you'll see here that I finished that first white layer, and then I go into starting the gold layer, placing a thinner line on top of the white to leave a slight outline. I used a very small dotting tool for more control. So, to save time in the long run, tip number 4 is to make as many decals in advance as possible. Have a stash of them so you can have them on hand and ready to go for whenever you need them. And then they only take a second to apply. So then you can do your manicures or your nail sets much quicker. As you watch me paint the gold, I want to share a short story about the Celtic knots called the Eternal Weave. Bridget sat by the ancient oak, her fingers tracing the delicate silver pendant around her neck, the Celtic Clover Knot. It had belonged to her grandmother, passed down through generations, a symbol of wisdom and connection. The knot has no beginning and no end, her grandmother had once whispered, like life itself, always moving, always intertwined. That night, under a sky speckled with stars, Bridget dreamt of a vast, shimmering thread stretching across the universe. She followed it, weaving through mist-covered hills and emerald valleys. Soon she reached an old woman at a loom, her hands guiding strands of gold into an intricate trinity knot. "You seek understanding," the woman said, her eyes ancient as the land itself. "The clover knot binds love and unity, past, present, and future. The Trinity knot carries the sacred cycle, life, death, and rebirth." Bridget watched as the threads twisted, forming endless loops. She saw her ancestors, their spirits woven into the design, their love still alive in the fabric of time. "Nothing is ever truly lost," the woman continued. "Every bond remains, every soul is connected." Bridget awoke at dawn, the pendant warm against her skin. As she looked out over the rolling fields of her homeland, she understood. Love, life, and eternity were never separate. They were part of the same endless thread. And so she carried the symbol forward, a reminder that all things, past, present, and future, are forever intertwined. So this is the final result of the decal. I go ahead and lightly pinch the sides of the nail form, and the decal just easily lifts off. Tip number 5: test your design to ensure it meets your expectations and make adjustments as needed. And then you put it all together, and this is what you get. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more nail art magic, crafty fun, and creative tips and tricks. I also make custom nail sets, so if you're interested, contact me to learn more information. My details are in the bio. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye.